Hello, I hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports news. A response has now come in from Nadeshot, but I really should change the title. I do apologize for that, guys. YouTube titles are kind of weird how they work. I should have changed it to, though, Nadeshot responds with no response. And as expected, if you guys do not know the breakdown of the situation, I'll play you a few clips back and forth here between Nickmercs and Nadeshot. Of course, Nickmercs in the last few days has left the 100Thieves organization as Courage has now joined. We'll touch on that probably in a bit in the back half of the episode as well. But Nickmercs, his main statements about this, apparently some unfulfilled promises made by Nadeshot early on in the 100Thieves organization. Of course, ever since then, they've acquired many sponsors, many investors, maybe even partial owners on top of that, and apparently could not follow through with the initial promises he did make to Nickmercs, and that's why he left. Nick also stated he had not been paid a single dime ever since joining the organization and giving them their service for a couple of years as well.
You know, and he made some promises to me as a friend, how we were going to do it, how he was going to take care of me. It just didn't end up happening, man. I don't hate the guy, you know. I definitely don't hate him, but I don't like him. You know, him and I are not cool. We're never going to be cool. I don't want nothing to do with him. I never do business with him. I'll never sit down at a table with him ever again. When I could have been playing for somebody else, and I didn't make a dime for years.
And as expected, I think, especially going forward as well, respectable from Nadeshot, his response with no response. I'll play those clips very shortly here. But with his technical response, he did give somewhat of one, but mostly just kind of trying to avoid the situation, which is likely what we expected, right? When it comes to a situation like this, the drama involved, it really hurts both parties. There's no way to actually win this argument, even if he goes on to discuss the details of what maybe he talked about with Nick, what he promised Nick. And again, I don't think Nick's the kind of guy to go into greater detail as well. When he made his initial video about saying why he had left 100Thieves, he never gave the full-on details. Thus, he never really fully outed Nadeshot, and therefore Nadeshot, when he fired back, never really fully outed Nick either. And I think both these characters going forward, well, they're not going to spill any details exactly what was actually spilled during their initial conversations, because if that were to come to be, this back and forth would not really benefit either party. You'd have either of their fan groups really kind of targeting the opposite side as well. But here was Nadeshot's initial response and probably final response to the Nickmercs situation.
I have a lot of respect for what Nick has done with his career, and I think he's one of the best at what he does as a content creator. Very charismatic. I've always been a big fan of his and his career. I'm not going to make a comment or statement on the situation at hand. I know that's probably disappointing for a lot of you, but I just don't think that there's any point in having this back and forth, because it just, I don't want to do it. I'm sorry that Nick feels the way that he does. It's just a tough situation all around. So I wish Nick all the best. He's going to have a long and successful career, and he's built the MFAM and himself individually to a place that he's going to be just fine. He's done a fantastic job, and I respect the hard work that he's put into his own personal brand and his career. And there's many, many good things on the horizon for Nickmercs. So that's all I have to say about that.
So with all of that being said, I think it's going to be a respectable close to this drama, this controversy. I still will be very curious about what was initially promised. You know, rumors out there saying, of course, equity was maybe offered to Nickmercs in the long run, but with all the investors they've acquired, that being 100Thieves, he probably, that being Nadeshot, could not offer Nickmercs that same thing he promised initially, because they did really blow up together. Nickmercs as well, alongside 100Thieves, they've both seen some great success, and I really do think both parties will have a long and successful career, like Nadeshot also mentioned in his clip, even though they will not be together in business. As Nick also stated, he will never be doing business with Nadeshot again. The one final thing I'm super curious about, besides what was offered between the two initially in this organization, I am super curious though, what was Courage offered to actually join the organization? A question maybe to you guys in the comment section down below. What do you think was offered to Nickmercs? What do you think was offered to Courage as he joined 100Thieves? If you guys do know Courage, obviously blown up, huge success over the past few months. Of course, he did join Optic many months ago, then left Optic because they really could not offer him much. So I was very surprised to see him join another organization with him doing so well away from the organizational process or umbrella. He has now joined 100 Thieves, and the ultimate thought in my mind is, what was offered to him? It would be shocking to hear that what if Nadeshot had offered him equity and obviously couldn't follow through with offering Nickmercs equity as well. I highly doubt that's the case, but either way, a super curious story which we'll likely never know about. But with that being said, guys, respectable end to the drama between Nadeshot and Nickmercs. Will they come back up in the future, whether they play together or whether something does pop back up? And if they do, I will certainly be here covering it. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll be back here probably with one more video today in esports news out there, probably going to be around the CSGO scene. But I must thank all of you guys who've been watching the content lately on the channel. We are slowly approaching 30,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you all enough for the comments, the likes, the support. You guys are truly amazing. But as always, I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll see you next time.